गंधर्विक्य गिरिधारी गंधर्विक्य गिरिधारी गौर हरि जयो लक्ष्मी वरगदे जयो लक्ष्मी वरगदे लक्ष्मी वरगदे जयो लक्ष्मी वरगदे जयो लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जयो लक्ष्मी नरसिंह लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जयो अनंतदे जयो जय प्रभुपाद 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 जयो जय प्रभुपाद ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मायं तदान्तेष्टं पदान्त्यं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरु वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपं सागरदातं सागररघुनाथान्तं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादा सागरललिता श्रीविशाखां च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेक्षा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं दैवं सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतस्य भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिभवतस्य कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna, welcome all the devotees for the Nityam Bhagavata Seva. Today we will be reciting on the first canto, 18th chapter, sloka number 4, Parishit curse by Brahmana boy. So this is also very important and the nectar of sloka we call this. Because this is that sloka which the whole essence of our living being is being given. So I seek blessing from all the devotees so that I can speak Bhagavatam in Parampara for the pleasure of the Krishna and the devotees and my own purification. Just follow the, you can follow the slokas. No uttama sloke vartanam
न उत्तमश्लोका वर्तानां
चष्टतां तत् कथामृतं
दशतां तत्कथामृतं
सत् सम्भ्रवो न अन्तकाले येऽपि
स्यात् सम्भ्रमो अन्तकाले अपि
सम्रतां तत् पादाम्बुजं
सम्रतां तत्पादाम्बुजं
नातामि श्लोकवर्तानां
न उत्तमश्लोका वार्तानां
जसतां तत् कथामृतं
दशतां तत्कथामृतं
सत् सम्भ्रमो अन्तकालेऽपि
सत्सम्भवो अन्तकालेऽपि
सम्रतां तत् पदाम्बुजं
सम्रतां तत्पादाम्बुजं
नातां श्लोकवृतानां
न उत्तमश्लोका वर्तानां
जसतां तत् कथामृतं
दशतां तत्कथामृतं
सत्सम्भ्रमो न अन्तकालेऽपि
सत्सम्भ्रमो अन्तकाले अपि
स्मरतां तत् पादाम्बुजं
स्मरतां तत्पादाम्बुजं
word by word meaning. Now,
Na.
Never.
Never.
Uttama Sloke,
Uttama Sloka.
the personality of Godhead,
The personality of Godhead,
the Vedic hymns singing,
of the whom the Vedic hymns sings.
Vartanam,
Arthanam.
of those who live on them,
Of those who live on them.
Jastatam,
Jastatam.
of those who are engaged in,
Of those who are engaged in.
that
That
is
is
Katamratam,
Kadamritam.
translation topics about him,
Transcendental topics about him.
Sat,
Shyat.
it is so happen,
It so happens.
Sambraha,
Sambraha.
misconception,
Misconception.
Anta,
Anta.
at the end,
At the end.
Kale,
Kale.
in time,
In time.
Api,
Api.
also,
Also.
Samrahatam,
Samratam.
remembering
Remembering.
that
That
his Pada Ambuja,
Padambuja.
lotus feet,
Lotus feet.
translation and purport by His Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Translation, you can follow that. This was so because
This was so because
those who have dedicated
those who are dedicated
their lives to the
transcendental
topics of the personality of Godhead,
topics of the personality of Godhead,
of whom
of whom
the Vedic hymns sing
the Vedic hymns sing,
and who are
and who are
constantly engaged in
constantly engaged in
remembering the lotus feet of the Lord.
remembering the lotus feet of the Lord.
Do not run
Do not run
the risk of having
the risk of having
misconceptions
misconceptions
even at the
even at the
last moment
last moment
of their life.
of their lives.
Perfect. The highest perfection of the life is attained by remembering the transcendental nature of the Lord. At the last moment of one's life, this perfection of the life is made possible by one who has learned the actual transcendental nature of the Lord from the Vedic hymns sung by the liberated soul like Sukadeva Goswami or someone in that lineage of disciplic succession. There is no gain in hearing the Vedic hymns from some mental speculators. When the same is heard from the actual self-realized soul and is properly understood by the service and submission, everything becomes transparently clear. Thus, a submissive disciple is able to live transcendentally and continue to the end of their life. By scientific adoption, one is able to remember the Lord even at the end of the life, when the power of the remembrance is slackened due to the derangement of the bodily membranes. For a common man, it is very difficult to remember things as they are at the time of the death. But by the grace of the Lord and His bona fide devotees, the spiritual master, one can get this opportunity without difficulty. And it was done in the case of Maharaj Parikshit. Hare Krishna. So let us understand a few points as very important. One is, at the time of death, what we are supposed to remember. Is it possible to remember? So to make it possible, what are the steps we have to do? So these are the detailed thing we will be understanding from this sloka. It's very important sloka, one of the nectarian of sloka in Srimad Bhagavatam. So this sloka is a continuation of the previous sloka. Yesterday Prabhu was taking the class. Okay, that is a continuation of this. The Parikshit Maharaj surrendered himself to the Sukadeva Goswami. So he surrenders and therefore he could understand the actual position of the personality of Godhead. This verses got relevant to this point made in the third sloka itself. This is the relevant. How Parikshit Maharaj surrendered to Sukadeva Goswami. That is very important because the nature of the person who has dedicated his life to the transcendental pastime of Godhead. And such peoples also constantly engage in remembering the lotus feet of the Lord. So people who are whom we should surrender, a person should always meditate on Lord. Such people we should surrender so that we also get that same quality of that. So two characters are exhibited by these people. That one is their life is dedicated to the transitional topic of the Godhead. One is their life is dedicated to that. They always speak about Krishna only. And second one is they live based on the scriptures which describe the glories of the Lord and His devotees. So these are the 2 points. One is they always meditate. Second thing is they live based on the life. They also live the same way. What they are talking, the same way they also live that. So such devotees do not have the misconception at the end of their life. So such type of people, there won't be any confusion. Will I get the remembrance of Lord or not? So Srila Prabhupada, what says is in his purport, what is the risk somebody may have? So at the time of death, what is the risk? So we undergoing at the time of death. The purpose he said that highest perfection of the life is attained by remembering the transcendental nature of the Lord at the last moment of one's life. That is the highest risk. It is like examination, no, going for IIT or JEE examination. The risk is that when they sit in front of the table with the question paper. So that is the examination fear. How much you prepare the whole year or more tuition or whatever it is, it's all put under when you put in front of the paper. So that's the highest perfection. We are spiritual being. We are also spiritual being, and Supreme Lord is a spiritual personality. Both are same quality of people. We belong to the Supreme Lord's personal abode. Where we are originally, we are from the spiritual world. So we are not this body, earthly planet people. In this human form of life, we are meant to cultivate Krishna consciousness. In this life, what we are supposed to do? We should cultivate Krishna consciousness. And to be able to remember the Supreme Lord at the end of life. When you do Krishna consciousness properly, so at the time of end of the life, we will remember Krishna. Ante Narayana Smriti, that's what it says. Yesterday class also it is said, the Narayana Parayana. So all these things are all very important. Ante Kale Chambave. So in Bhagavad Gita also it is described that. So what we are supposed to do at the end of the life. At the end of the life, to success the termination of life, one has to remember Krishna at the last moment. That is the highest perfection. So termination of our life. Your termination from this job. That means what? That is the last day. Correct? So this body is the termination, means that is the last moment you are going to die. That is the time what you are supposed to do. So we should remember Krishna. Simply by remembering Krishna alone, one at the end of one's life, one able to attain immediately the transcendental abode of the Supreme Lord. The moment what happened, you get promoted. You leave this body, you are being transcendentally, you will transfer to abode of the Krishna. Never to take a birth again in this miserable world. So if you are perfect, you are not going to take another womb in this material world. Having gone news, what to do? After going there, what we are supposed to do? They live an eternal life full of bliss. What we are going to do? Full of bliss. Happiness is there. In the association of whom? With the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So with Krishna, we are very happy, number one. Engaging devotional service very naturally. This naturally is very important. It's not artificial. Suppose you joined a work, what happened? First you put under how many 3 months internship, 6-month course. You will be trained to that kind of environment of the job, okay, culture, all the things they will teach. First 1 month will be orientation by different department, what each department is doing, what you are supposed to do, okay, then you meet your boss and boss gives some assignment, that also how to execute, they will be training you, put under, there will be supervisor, so many things. Whereas when we get trained in this material world, what will happen? Naturally we will enter and we will do our bliss in the association of Krishna. That is what is required. So how do we ensure that you will be able to remember Supreme Lord at the end of the life? This general question will come. How will happen? What is the ensure? How we will ensure that? For that you have to learn that what is the transcendental nature of Krishna by hearing from the liberated soul. How? That's what I was saying. Present life, material world, we will be observed in a company, then there they will be giving training. Whereas here, how we get adjusted to that, we have to get trained here itself. By hearing from the liberated soul, like Sukadeva Goswami or someone in the parampara of Sukadeva Goswami, also a liberated soul. So we have to hear about Krishna, like Rukmani, how she fall in love with Krishna. Whoever sages pass through their palace, they glorify, they will talk about Krishna, and she was going on hearing. She never seen the Krishna. But when time comes, when his brother Rukmanga, he is planned to arrange marriage with Shishupalaka. Immediately she wrote a love letter. They said, please kidnap me. I don't want to marry with him. I know. She was saying, I am shameless lady writing a letter to you. How fallen soul she is begging to Krishna. Shameless girl, I am writing a letter to you, please come and rescue me. She writes a letter and she is given to the Brahmana who is trustworthy. That Brahmana runs to this thing. And Krishna, knowing it, he was Ranachura. That last 17th war, what happened? He ran away because he was expecting the letter from Rukmani. That's why he got a name Ranachura. He ran away from the battlefield. Number one. Number two is, when the Brahmana came, he treated at topmost. He received him very graciously, asked him to sit on the asan, wash his leg, gave him very delicious prasadam, asked him to sleep. But his whole mood is waiting for him when he will give the letter. That Brahmana, when he got full of royal treatment, he has forgotten to give the letter. Okay. At the end, he is asking, is that Rukmani sent any message? Then, yes, I forgot, sorry, this is the message for you, please take it. So, just Krishna opened the letter and immediately, he got that mid of the night, he pulled all these chariot and horse. They are very extraordinary horses. And he pulled the Brahmana, threw it in the chariot. He himself was riding. It was, the Bhagavatam described, it ran like a lightning, how fast flash it goes. It ran Vidarbha, from Dwaraka to Vidarbha, he just flew and he landed there. So, this is what is the thing we have to understand that, from this thing. Like Sukadeva Goswami, the parampara. Somebody who heard that type of Krishna Katha, Bhagavatam Katha from the mental, okay. Some people, okay, they take Bhagavatam speaker, they take Lakshmi and all. And they twist and turn to attract the audience. Okay. Such Bhagavatam speaker we should not hear. What Prabhupada says is no use. You cannot go back to Godhead. There is no guarantee. If you hear such Bhagavatam, you will not go back. So, whom we should hear? The Bhagavatam from the realized soul who speak as it is, the Bhagavatam, not twist and turn. You have to hear from the actual liberated soul. Hearing process also directed that one has to properly understand the nature of Krishna by service and submission. This is another one is very important, service and submission. How you have to hear? One should surrender to spiritual master. First he has to surrender. Then he has to service to the spiritual master. Then the spiritual master will be pleased to reveal the most confidential knowledge about the transcendental nature of Supreme Person of Goddess Krishna. When he will reveal to only you surrender, submissive and service doing, then this is the most confidential knowledge. What Prabhupada gave us in Bhagavatam is the most confidential knowledge. And everything becomes transparency and very clear. When he gave that knowledge, it is so transparent. Transparent means we see through that. We can see easily that. And very clear, crystal clear. There is no twist and turn, no self-added gyans. That most of the Bhagavatam speaker, they for the attraction of guardians, they twist and turn the story itself, so that the audience will enjoy that. It is not that way. It is the very crystal clear what Bhagavatam, what has exactly happened, they are speaking it. Such a clarity is that, like when you drink distilled water, clear that, Himalayan water, how clear it is, very tasty, the natural tasty is there. Whereas this Bisleri water and all the thing, you will not get it. Even the filter with so many things, you will never get that. So that is a clear one. So we have to hear the Bhagavatam very clearly. By such a clear understanding, by realized, one is able to live transcendentally even before the death comes. So this is also very, very important. Live to live transcendently even before death. That means what? They are already reached. Okay, they are meditating on Goloka. Okay, living pastime, all the things they are already merged with them. So that is the way. Example is Prabhupada. When Prabhupada, is in deathbed, last days, Tamal Krishna Maharaj goes and asks, Maharaj, Prabhupada is taking permission. I am going to small meeting for 15 minutes. I'll come back. Prabhupada is laughing and asking, should I wait till 15 minutes till you come back? Then he said that he was telling that is Krishna's wish. He said, no, it is I who have to decide when I have to leave my body. It is not a Krishna deciding your death. It is the transcendental position where like Bhishma Deva are transcendental. They can decide when they can leave the body. Nobody have to, even Yamadutas are not going to come to take his body because they are all transcendental places. That's why Prabhupada also, he decided when he want to leave the body. He didn't take any prasadam, he renounced it because he's already decided, yes, I have to leave it. He has got a better seva there in a spiritual world. So such a level, when you realize it, from the, see how it is slow process, gradual process. When you hear a transcendental message from a pure soul, then you also elevated to transcendental level in this life itself. No need of wait after death also. You're getting? By such a clear, one's life is dedicated to Supreme Lord, such a transcendental life is living till the end of the life. Srila Prabhupada says, by such a scientific adaptation, one can remember Krishna at the time of death. Even scientists are telling that when you start meditating, they are also saying by adaptation you can remember that. It is like somebody is meditating a dog, after death he will take a birth of a dog. Because you are being tuned. Okay. So when you start remembering Krishna, it is confidential that even that is guaranteed that you will death. It is difficult. What biggest challenge? Okay, by scientific adoption, one able to remember the Lord even at the end of the life. When the power of remembrance is slackened due to the derangement of the bodily membrane, this is more important. What other people are happening, all other than the devotees, the body started losing all the memories. Okay, so that is most challenging one. That is the highest risk. It is difficult to remember Krishna for a normal person. At the time of death, something happens to the body. Our body, I was hearing from my brother that he is saying my mother was about to leave her body. She was telling me something happening to me. I want to go to washroom. She said, I'm not able to walk. You bring that bucket. So she is revealing that what's happening. And my brother was clearly understanding that the whole body at the time of death, what's happening. You will start losing the organs it is started losing its activities. We have to leave the body. Body function completely stops working. So afterward, what happened when memory, brain stops and all organs, membranes, everything stops, then total stop. Okay, at that last moment, it is natural or easy to remember Supreme Lord? That is the question. Such a normal person, when nothing is going to work, okay, all organs are dying, okay, for them it is not. But for the devotee, it is naturally the Krishna is going to give the remembrance. That is the beauty of it. Okay, the art of one living one's material body who can effectively depart from this material body. It's an art. How we are supposed to leave the body. The art of one living one's material body who can effectively depart from this material body. What kind of departure of this body is considered as a glorious? So what is that? How we should die? It's a glorious thing. We call it which thing like Haridas Thakur. Mahaprabhu saying he said glorious death. Srila Prabhupada they say that it's a glorious death. Okay, because they departure. That's what it means. Departure means you are living. Okay, that is the time how you have to live. That is very big question. This description is in this sloka. One can leave the body effectively, enter into the better destination, that is spiritual destination, to the degree one who lives throughout a devotional manner and spiritual manner. How we can depart to spiritual world is how you live in this material world, like a devotional life, spiritual life you live. Then only it is like a athletics, no? Just like that, you cannot run a 100 meters and get a medal. Daily they will go on running, no? Then one day when the Olympic comes, they are able to run. That is an example for us. So, how we live in this material world, the devotional manner and spiritual manner, then only we can enter directly. When you depart, directly we will enter into the spiritual world. The person who constantly, regularly take pleasure of discussing Krishna Katha, releasing the pastime of Krishna Katha and discussing Krishna's quality, attributes among the associates of devotee. See, it's very important. All the points are very important. One is you have to discuss Krishna Katha daily. Releasing the pastime of Krishna Katha, you should enjoy the Krishna Katha. I was just telling that Rukmani's story, it releases. You are able to recollect what all happening. All the kings, what is happening? In that letter, love letter, she wrote it. I'll be going to the Ambika temple. Okay, you after the worship, that is our traditional. When I come back, that is the time you have to kidnap. She gives full description when she has to kidnap and all the things. So when she was walking towards the Ambika temple, all the kings came and kings were there. No, instead of horse, some kings are tied with the lions to show that their bravery. Okay, some kings are sitting on the top of the elephant. Okay, that too not gigantic like African elephant type, male elephant. No, it's such a gigantic. So many description is there that whole canto if you read, no, it's so nectarian. That katha will go on, and everybody, by seeing the beauty of Rukmani, they fell from the top of the elephant to the floor, and they don't know that they fell down also. They lost their consciousness. Imagine that, how beautiful Rukmani was there. The way she is walking and the king and all it's like both the rows of the pathway, they're all, so many kings are standing, big kings, emperors all standing and all mesmerized. Totally they lost the sense. Okay, that is the nectarian, that's what they say, that Katamrita. And they discuss that Krishna's qualities and attributes. So qualities of Krishna's are there, that we have to discussing. Among whom we should be discussed, among the devotees. So association very important. You cannot sit alone and discuss with whom. You cannot release it. Correct? Even if you have a palatable of Rajbhoga in front of table, but if you are put it in the forest and in the middle of the jungle, can you release it? You cannot able to eat it. That is in a hand, one plate full of prasadam and full of like Krishna sitting, with all his gopas, and he is releasing the prasadam. That's how even the devotee enjoy with association of devotees only. Even a small prasadam, handful of prasadam also they will release it. So we have to be with the association of devotees, very important. Person who dedicate their life in the Krishna conscious activity, such person will not run into misconception. Even at the time of death, there won't be any confusion, will I go back to Krishna? That confusion will not come. Even at the time of leaving the body, there is no confusion. That's what the sloka says. Sat sambramaho. Misconception will not be there. Leaving the material body, there is a lot of pains. Generally what happens, you ask any person who is in the deathbed, no, I have pain, no, they will go on shouting. Normal material piece, even that's why they will admit in hospital and all. They will give injection. They will make lot of noise because they are full of pain. There are a lot of mental pains also. It is not only bodily pain, mental pain also there. One of the Bhagavatam also says that how the death will be like scorpion biting, thousands of scorpion biting. At the time when the soul is removed from this body, how much painful that's what he's saying. People in general who meditate all the unfulfilled desires, what general people do, they have that, okay, I supposed to build a house, it is halfway stop there. My son supposed to get a job, I couldn't able to influence him. My daughter supposed to get married, I couldn't make it. My daughter-in-law is not taking care of my grandchildren. So many unfulfilled desires will be there. I supposed to buy this something, something left it in the okay, okay, okay. So fast we couldn't understand anything. Sorry. What is happening? Leaving the material body, there's a lot of pains, and even not only bodily pain, mental pain also there. They are having unfulfilled desires are there. So many people know, you ask anybody, they are all having that trouble. Longing throughout their life. Oh, I didn't do this, I don't do that. It is not only that last stage, they were thinking that. Actually, I had one of the story there. What happened? The father-in-law said that my daughter-in-law is making so much of trouble, going on chastising me, not giving prasadam. Let me leave the house and go. Then he will go and get another ashram, that old age home. He gets admitted. After going there, he will think that did my grandson she fed the prasadam? Did my son went to office? He was going on meditating on the family even after going to ashram, old age home. So this is what at the time of old age, what all challenge we are going to face by common people. So who will fulfill all the desire? I am leaving this body. What is going to happen? So they will think that who will do all these things? I am going to leave the body. Okay, my mother also same thing happened. My brother's son and the family, they came and told that she has conceived. My mother was anxiety. He said, oh, my daughter-in-law going to be grandmother. Okay, how she will manage? I said, I stop all the things. She is going, then she will do it. Why you have to worry about she is going to be granddad? Okay, you understood that. So the aged people, they worry about more of that surroundings. So slowly I was talking and she came out of that all attachment and she started to give up that life. Till then, she was so much attached with the house, attached with the family member. She wanted to manage the house. She won't trust my brother and daughter-in-law. Okay, after she came 1 month up, she did Tulsi Puja, she is hearing Bhagavatam. I was convincing because of the association of devotees and she is able to come out of the bondage. That's what I was trying to tell. This practically I saw that. And finally she decided, yes, I want to give up. Because last stage she was hearing that our Jagat Prabhu's classes, he is talking about soul. That all the things she is hearing from Bhagavatam, she matured herself, she prepared herself for the journey. So that's how the aged people, we have to train them. We have to create an atmosphere so that they will leave the pain. I heard another devotee there, his father is lost his mental power. He does everything on the bed only. Okay. And he forgot all the people, the surrounding people names, everything. Only his wife, wife is cleaning and doing it, feeding. He is not able to remember even he has taken prasadam. After 5-10 minutes, he said, yes, I want prasadam. Imagine that. So this is the natural condition of the old age. But as a devotee, putra, we have to educate them how they have to train themselves. Because the very first beginning of our Bhagavatam, we were discussing, everybody has to take their own flight. Prabhupada also clearly says in the purpose, you are going to drive your flight. You are the pilot. Nobody is going to come in your plane or nobody is going to be co-pilot with you. So, it is your father, your mother also should do the same flight. They also have to only fly. You being a son, you cannot drive the father. So you have to educate that. Person who had lived a life in of bhakti, sorry, this body, what is going to happen? This is the anxiety when they're having. That is the anxiety for the person who is in their deathbed. So normal person, deathbed, what is happening? There so much of anxiety. Because of that only, they'll shout, they will make lot of noise, they'll disturb everybody. So what doctor will do? He'll give one injection. Fight. Anesthesia, something they'll give. So because doctor cannot understand what's happening there, but the patient cannot express it. He is in anxiety that what will happen. I have so much of property. Who is going to manage it? Another story also that one great, very rich man was there. At the time of death, he was thinking of, oh, my locker, so much of money, so who is taking care? After that, no, death, he will become a rat in that and he will run in the bureau. So he will safeguard that. Then one day his son saw that the rat is there. He told his wife, see this rat going to eat away all the rupees, currencies. He turned. So when you are attached with your property and money, what will happen? You take another birth to protect it. Anxiety. So we have to be very careful with that. The person who had lived a life of bhakti yoga will not have such misconception. When we are living a bhakti yoga, will not have that misconception. Will not have such confusion. No confusion will be there. Bewilderment. Oh, anxiety will not. The bewilderment will not get shocked in the deathbed. Okay, I am going to die. That fear will not be there. What such person can do even on the deathbed? Smaratam tata padma bhujam. So what he does is, he will be able to remember the lotus feet of the Lord Krishna, his perfect place without any agitation. So a devotee, what he does is, at the deathbed, he will keep his smaran on the lotus feet of the Lord. So that is correctly he will do that. One who lives a life of devotion, one living this body, such devotional mood, meditate on Krishna's lotus feet. One living this body will attain a transcendental lotus feet. So when we, at the time of death, when we keep meditate on Krishna's lotus feet, at the time of death also, when we live, that we will go back to Krishna's abode. So this is where Krishna is there. Where is he's there in the spiritual world. So how clearly the answers are given to us. The art of living the body is dependent on the art of how we live a life throughout in this world. How art of living. So their art of living, they are preaching what? How to do yoga, pranayama, all the things. But what Bhagavatam speaks to us, how we live a life throughout in this world. That is the art of living. How we live, that's how we go back to God. The entire life is prepared for this examination of death. So this examination is, which is that? Death is examination. What we are living is a preparation we are doing. The passing this exam of death means to go to the better destination. Promotion, passing means, what is the result of this? Going to the better destination. To go to the spiritual destination is the examination passing out. Leaving this material body and material world. So what we are doing, we don't want to come back in another womb of a mother. We have to go to, that is the passing. If you fail, you will come back here. If you pass, you will go to spiritual world. That possible only when we give up the material desires. How is it possible? How nicely Prabhupada given. When we give up that material desire, then we will not come back to this material world. When you have the attached to the material desire, then okay, jewels, land, wife, children, all this material desire we are having, they are now connected to you. The soul is not connected. Only bodily connections is there. So that way we should give up everything. By cultivating spiritual desire, by practicing bhakti yoga, we have to cultivate the spiritual desire. Okay, how I will serve the Krishna. And by practicing the bhakti yoga, Mangalati attending, Guru, Darshanarthi attending, all the things is the bhakti yoga. In association of the devotees, again coming back to that, it is not alone he is telling, nobody is telling that you have to do personal. Okay, all other exams you have to go separately, but In a devotional, you have to associate with the devotee, because when you are associate and practicing, even in Goloka, there are millions of devotees will be there. You should mingle with them, no? If you are alone, what will happen is you don't know how to mingle with that. Correct? So usually it happens, a dog is brought up in a house, okay, so when you leave that alone, when you see the street dogs, it cannot go and mingle with them. It goes and fights. But in street dogs, there are 5 dogs, 10 dogs also, they will be together only. They never fight because they are always association. So this is why anything you do spiritual, you should be in the association of devotees. And if we live a life of bhakti yoga, at the time of leaving this body, we remember Krishna, going back to Krishna. So conclusion of this chapter is, sloka is, what really works? How it is all happening? So at the time of death, how we will remember Krishna? That is the grace of Supreme Lord. Even because our body is not going to work, our membranes is not going to work, nothing, our organs are going to work, okay? That is the time the grace of the Supreme Lord plays a role, and the pure devotee is a bona fide spiritual master. He who wants to remember that. That is a real secret. Okay. Who can have the mercy of grace? Who will get that mercy of grace? Those who dedicated life for serving the Supreme Lord under the guidance of Supreme Spiritual Master. People who are initiated, who are under the guidance of Spiritual Master, who dedicate their life for the Bhakti Yoga, those people get the chance of mercy. That is what the case with Maharaj Parikshit, because he accepted Sukadeva Goswami as a spiritual master, he listened to Bhagavatam, he surrendered himself. That's what the previous sloka says, surrendered himself fully. And he's listening, he never taken break. I am going for tea break, I am going for the natural call, nothing, no break. He was attentively hearing it. His life was dedicated for the service of Krishna. All his life, it is not only the last minute he is doing the exercise. The Krishnas arranged Sukadeva Goswami for him because his whole life he is dedicated and served the Krishna. And he was dharmic way, and as per spiritual way he was ruling the government. He got a very, very able spiritual master like Sukadeva Goswami. That's why Krishna sent a guru. When you pray to the Krishna, serving the Krishna, that Krishna sent you the guru to you. You got it? That is the message. And that guru will take you back to home, back to Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hope the whole message is clear. Any doubt, any clarity? It's a very, very, very important sloka in Bhagavatam.